Please welcome Simon to the open mic. Hi everyone. Before I start, if you like my poetry, well after I finish, if you like my poems, I have two things I'm giving away, and I'm selling a chapbook that I put with 40 poems, but there's two pamphlets on top there, the rainbow colored piles. I'm hoping I don't get rid of all the ones from February before I get rid of some from January, but it's a stack from January, a stack from February, so those are my words. I'm gonna read a couple poems for you guys, as many as I can fit in. I don't know. Doesn't seem like it's too crowded today, so maybe it'll be a few. This first one is called Demonic. So the first three I wrote this past week, and then there are gonna be other ones in here. So Demonic is from last week. Demonic. Everybody's got their own demons. Mine are better than yours. I never was a Viking, not one with horns mounted. Demons wear horns too. Let's talk about demons. Let's talk about deities. Let's talk about shadows falling from on high. Following light to the ground. Following light backward down to hell. Following you forward into your bed. Burrowing into your blankets for warmth. Everybody is their own worst nightmare. Everybody is their own best critic. Everybody was their own wet dream. How do we become better than we were? How can we become better than we are? Can we keep moving forward from here? The Capitalist Manifesto. Should we? Will we, if we can? Demonic. All right. This next one is also from last week. This one's called Becoming. Becoming. When things are what they are, it is best left alone. When things flow into another, colors bleeding, words fading, clarity hazing, heart racing, it becomes tricky with the pacing. When things flow into another, not like it was ever before, things were never what they were, I start thinking about what's been created. We were the best despite the deaths. We can't fall off like that. The world becomes us as we become ourselves. Take over. Becoming. All right, one more from last week. This one's called Fragility. Fragility. Your fragile lies lay Fragility. Your fragile lies lay near broken, barely gripping, still clinging, in pieces held together by this tape of stories you never told. Tears stained black, cheeks so pure in sunlight, not hot, just drying. In time, the drips never reach the ground. Fragility. All right, so this one I read, I don't think I ever read this one here. This poem I wrote in 2004. I actually edited this one quite a bit. The revisions all happened at 152 Willow Street, like right across the street there. My friend used to live in that house. So this is from 2004, like 21 years ago. Wow, it's crazy. It's called My Goose is Loose. Did I read that here before? No. It's called My Goose is Loose. 100 mute Canada geese fell upon my body as I lay, aware and resigned to the flurry of furious beaks and wings, tattering clothes to bloody rags against living flesh, tearing at sinews, prying bone from bone, wrenching entrails from tidy quarters until gaps grew, membranes ruptured, exposing a translucent egg, mucus and huge. Inside, I struggled until it cracked and crumbled. Pieces fell away, and I emerged, a sable goose, full grown, and led the way south for winter. My goose is loose. I didn't read that for you, did I? All right. This is another one from around that same era. I think this was like 2006, maybe earlier. It's called Contemplations on a Deer in the Universe. So I might tell you a little story before I read this one. I wrote this one at Gulf Beach in Milford, looking across the water by Charles Island. So it's kind of about that area. A lot of my poems about the beach in Milford. So Contemplations on a Deer in the Universe. The sky is dark at night, or so it seems under lights, white and amber glow, blue and yellow ebb and flow. Sand slides and flurries and blizzards and ripples and waves all around the edges. Like the copacetic places in Australia, away from the outback, apparently, obviously in front. A single star shines down between the clouds from the universe above, or below in Australia, Rosa rugosa and elusive beach grasses, an island in the sand, mirrors ailanthus and maple on an island in the sound. I've seen the deer there, browsing, grazing, on an island of sanctuary. No humans, April to October, no humans breeding. And the lights echo all along the water's edge. Contemplations on a deer in the universe. Thanks. So these last two, I just threw in, I was just planning to read that stuff, but these last two are very short. I wrote these two poems yesterday, and I kind of like them. I like the second one better than the first one. I'm going to read the first one first because that's what first means. This first one is called Lines. Lines. I have witnessed more sin than the church parking lot, like the fine lines between longings lost and despair, between desperation. It is like the fine lines between lines less refined. It's like fine lines between your nature's own sacred sins, separated within. I have been witness to more sins than you. Lines. All right, and then my next one, this is gonna be my last poem. So this one I really like. I wrote this one yesterday. I was paying very close attention to the rhythm and the rhyme in this one, which I don't usually do. This one's called Without Us. So what is not a human invention? In nature, without interpretation? So what is not a solo creation, existing without our modulation? If we cease to exist, or never did, would anything have been spoken or said? These things don't have a beginning or an end. Without us mixing, the world wouldn't bend. Things would continue flowing in straight lines, or they would cease existing much like time. Without bodies, our souls would lose their minds. Without souls, our bodies would be just fine. Without us. Thanks, guys. And if you want to grab one of those books, they're free, so